Now, in this video, we're going to take a look at doing a workflow dashboard for your month-end close. And month-end close is going to vary tremendously across companies and industries. So you may have a very rigorous month-end close that you need to do where there's multiple people involved and it takes a couple of days. And, a simple workflow dashboard like this is probably not going to cut it for a company that has a really rigorous month-end close. But then there are other companies that, simply just do their bank rec to close their month. So something like this would be totally fine. Obviously, you'll know better than I do what you need for your company. But if this is something that you could potentially use even on an individual basis, then you can come in here, hit your little plus button to add your component. And you're going to stick with the general component type. So we're going to leave that alone. And then here, we're going to drop this down and we're going to choose custom navigation. I am going to rename this to close. And I'm going to give it a height of 300 just to make the actual box itself a little bigger within the dashboard. So down here then on my link details is where I give it a name. And here in the menu part is where I tell the system where on the menu I needed to point to bring me to that section. So for month-end close, first thing you're going to want to do is a subledger balancing. And on the menu, my best recommendation for what to do for this is basically to favorite some reports that are going to get you balanced, that what you look at to balance. And then on your workflow dashboard, point to favorite reports. So I'm going to start typing REP to bring me to the reports section. And then I'm going to click on favorited reports. And we'll look at that once this is complete. So subledger balancing first, and then balance WIP. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to reports and favorited reports. So I just typed in REP to bring me to the reports section and went to favorited reports. So the next step in the process might be to do your credit card reconciliation. So I'm going to go over here then to my menu and I'm going to type REC. And I'm going to choose my reconciliation credit card. Next, I might want to do bank rec. Well, you absolutely need to do bank rec, but I'm going to type REC. And I'm going to choose reconciliation bank. And then you may just close down GL altogether, which closes all of your subledgers, which is totally fine. But if you close down all of your subledgers individually, which you can do in Intacct, you can choose links for each one of those. So I'll just do one example of close AP. And in order to get to that, I'm going to have to scroll through this until I find my AP module. So cash management is there, GL, AP. So within the accounts payable module, I'm going to find subledger close, which is this, and that's where I'm going to link to. So you might, want to put in all of your subledgers there as links if that's something that you do. Or if you simply close down GL, we can just say close books. And then we're going to find general ledger, cash management, and general ledger, and we're going to find books, close books. So I'm not sure how you do that process, but you might want, a link for all of your different subledgers, and maybe you just want to just close down GL, which is absolutely totally fine. You might even want to put in a link there for reopen books if that's something that you need to do frequently within your company. So once we have that complete, then we can hit save. And that will bring you to the areas of the system that you've told it to bring you to. So let's say if I click on my bank rec hyperlink, it's going to bring me to the bank reconciliation screen. And I would do my bank rec from there. And then let's say you wanted to make changes to your dashboard once it's been completed. You have this little gear button over here. You can click on that and it'll bring you back into it again and you can make changes. So I mentioned setting up your favorited reports. So to do that, you will go to your reports on the menu and go to the report center. And you're just going to favorite reports by hitting the little star button that's to the left of them. So here on my all reports section, I have some stuff favorited. So I have my balance sheet, my profit and loss, my WIP report, and a couple of AR and AP agings. So then in my favorite section, I can see just my favorite reports that I have and each of the different modules. And you can actually drop that down and you can go to the individual modules to see the reports within that have been favorited. So back on my dashboard then, workflow dashboard. If I click on my subledger balancing, that's going to bring me directly to my report center, to my favorite reports, and I can open them from there and do my close. You can obviously alternatively add reports to the dashboard itself. And we do have videos that go through how to do that as well, if you want to look them up on our YouTube. So one other recommendation that I do have if you're setting up a workflow dashboard for month-end close is to add in a component for your close through summary. So I'm going to click on the little plus button here. And it is still general component type, but I'm going to drop this down from applications and I'm going to choose close through summary. And I'm going to change that height to 300 and I'm going to say entity view. So this is basically just going to give me a view then of my books closed up to whatever date by entity. So for my E100, they're all closed up to 12/31/2021. And I can scroll through and I can see all the different dates for my different entities. So that's definitely handy to have on a dashboard for your month-end close. I've seen people sometimes having issues where they're like, my books are closed. I don't understand. Why can't I make changes? And they might have accidentally closed through to the wrong year or something like that. So definitely handy to have close through summary on your dashboard as well. So like I mentioned at the beginning, there are companies that have an extremely rigorous process for their month-end close, and something like this is just not going to cut it. You might want to use checklists in that scenario. And we do have videos which go through how to set them up. But, if even as an individual, you think that there are certain parts of this that would be helpful, it just saves you from having to click through the system to get to where you need to go. You just come into your dashboard and you click in and you can get your work done. So those workflow dashboards are incredibly useful. So that's the end of the series. I hope that you found something helpful in all of that. And as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.